Listeners, we, the RPM gang, have tons of useful news.
Well, we should start off the news with bad news, because the great news is awesome.
If you insist.
All next week, you'll be without your favorite morning show.
Don't just leave them hanging on to that like that. Tell them why.
There will be no morning show because
fall break
starts Friday.
Now for the useful news. The Goodwill Career Center will be hosting an online application workshop at 3 p.m. Thursday and a resume workshop this Friday at 10 a.m. You may not be able to go to the Thursday workshop, but you should definitely go to the resume workshop. If you already have a resume, bring it.
Remember to register for your ACT and SAT before the next deadline. The next SAT deadline is October 5th for the November 4th test. The next ACT deadline is November 3rd for the December 9th test.
Please make sure you're on top of those if the college you plan on going to requires you to take them.
Speaking of deadlines, don't forget about the October 27th deadline for senior ads. If you want a separate picture or a corner, half, or a whole page, check out the announcement board for full details on how to do this.
This week, our Wolfpack is going up against Carrollton at 7:30 at the Barron Stadium. Show up and support our boys as they enter into the den to fight again.
Hey, do you want something to do this weekend?
Yeah!
Well, it's not going to be the local fair, but it's the big North Georgia Fair in Marietta, and it's going to be all week.
It will feature guest stars every night like Trace Adkins, Lauren Elena, Colton Dixon, and many more.
If you go on Saturday, between 10 and 11, you can not only get in for free, you get to ride the rides for free.
Really?
Okay, now something exciting. Starting back on September 15th and going on to October 15th, it's Hispanic Heritage Month.
We always celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month at the PLC.
Misville is organizing a Hispanic Heritage celebration tomorrow at lunch. We want students to bring in their favorite Latino Hispanic foods and drinks.
To kick off the celebration and to honor the voices of Hispanic Heritage Month at the PLC, we are featuring a PLC student on each show to share their story.
So now let's turn our attention to Jose Oliva.
Three, two, one.
Hello, I'm Jose, and I'm from Guatemala. I came to the States whenever I was 2 years old with my family, and we got into school. So then my dad, he got a deportation letter, and he had to leave whenever I was 5. So he went back to Guatemala, and he took my older brother with him, and me and my little brother, we were without a dad like for 3 years. We wanted to stay here in America, but like a family. My mom, she was so sad because my dad was not here. It was too hard for her to pay bills and everything. So she had to send my little brother with my grandma back to Guatemala. They left, and me and my mom, we stayed for a year, and then we had to go back. So we went back when I was 9 years old. So we were all together in Guatemala again, like a family. My older brother, he wanted to come back. He was 16. They sent him to Rome, Georgia. He spent here like 2 years by himself. He was paying some bills by himself. He had school and work. So he had no car, and he had to walk over 4 miles. He had to do that every single day, and even to come to school, whenever he missed the bus, he used to walk. I was 16 when I came. So I already graduated from my school in Guatemala, and I had to come and do everything again to be able to get a good job. So I'll start school all over again. We moved out to an apartment, so we had to pay half and half of bills. He bought a car, I bought my car, so we had to pay insurance and all of that by ourselves. So I got a job, and I was working at a restaurant, and that was not enough money. We just had like $20 for 2 weeks. So decided if we wanted to put gas in the car or buy food. We preferred to put gas in the car and eat at school. They sent my little brother whenever he was 11 years old. So it was 2 teenagers living alone, taking care of a younger sibling. So asking for legal papers to put my little brother in school, it was hard because that meant paying lawyers, go to court to approve those papers that my parents they sent from Guatemala. So we got my little brother in school. So we had to be his parents and take him to school. And then I turned 18. I got a job in a company. It was a yard company. So that was more easier to pay our car, insurance, and all the bills. I started business in Guatemala whenever I have vacations. I was working overtime in the company. I worked 12 hours night shift from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So I started sending money to my country to buy all the equipment. So I was working a lot of overtime. So all the money I had, I just was paying just the necessary bills and then sending all the money to my country. So then I started school again, and it was hard because working 12 hours night shift from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So that was tough. Just come straight to school, starting school at 8:30, and then getting home like around 4, and go to my work again, and then getting out and coming back to school. So that was tough. So it was just like in 2 days I was just sleeping 4 hours. So then I was like, I don't want to work in a company all my life, so I have to do something. I'll start saving money, and I'll start a business here that is called JD Companies. It's a cleaning service company and a landscaping service. So that would give me the opportunity to give and provide jobs. My goal right now is to graduate from high school this year and then go to a business college. Like that I can get more knowledge to make my businesses grow up. So right now I'm living by myself, and older brother, he already has his family. My little brother, he is with my older brother. So that's about it. And I'm planning on staying in the States. So that's my story.
In honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, we will be recognizing Sylvia Mendez. Mendez's family, while she was in the 3rd grade, sued an all-white Westminster school when they denied her and her siblings entry. The case Mendez versus Westminster was settled in 1947. This case was a landmark for cases like Brown versus Board of Education. Now Mendez is a civil rights activist, and she shares her story and advocates for Hispanic students' rights.
Today's motivational moment comes from Robin Williams, who said, "No matter what people tell you, words and ideas can change the world. So remember that your thoughts do matter and can help inspire great things. Do your best to stay positive and focus on the impact you make with each little step, and you too can change the world."